So today we're joined by Paul van Reesch. He's the VP Legal of Coca-Cola Enterprises, and he is here to talk to us about what affordable wisdom means to him. Okay, thank you, Paul, for coming.
Absolute pleasure, Joe.
Paul, can you tell me about your role in Coca-Cola Enterprises?
Sure. So I work for Coca-Cola Enterprises as the Vice President Legal and Company Secretary. Essentially, that means I do two things, three. I have a lot of fun because it's an absolutely fantastic role. But outside of that, I'm responsible for looking after all of the legal matters for Coca-Cola Enterprises across Great Britain. And the other responsibility I have is to help run the business with the other 10 or so management team members.
Paul, tell me a little bit about what affordable wisdom means to you.
You know, when I think about wisdom, in a general business context, but also within a legal context, it's about value. You can have all the advice or all the wisdom in the world, but it's useless unless it adds value to you. And what I mean by that is perhaps best illustrated by a story. A little while ago, there was a collaboration between Doritos, Frito-Lay in the US, and Taco Bell. And they sort of came up with this new taco, which was made out of a Doritos corn chip. And as they went through and developed this, it took them about 12 months. And they got near to the product launch. And they suddenly had this kind of light bulb moment where they realized that they hadn't got a contract in place. And so they said, well, what are we going to do? And one of the CEO of Taco Bell said to the CEO of Frito-Lay, look, if we involve the lawyers now, it's just going to slow everything down. So they decided to go forward with nothing but a handshake, despite everyone saying, you know what, you just can't do that. So 2 months on, they've sold 100 million of these Doritos taco things. And the CEO, Al Kerry is his name, of Frito-Lay, Frito-Lay rang up his counterpart at Taco Bell and said, you know what, we always said if one of us was going to be sacked or promoted, we'd have to get round to doing that contract. Well, I'm being promoted to run the PepsiCo beverages division, so we better get round to that contract. And the long and the short of it is, they said, you know what, had we got the lawyers involved, we would have sold 100 million less of these tacos. And that, for me, is what value is all about. The lawyers, the first thing they should have said is, let's get the lawyers involved, because the lawyers are going to add value. The lawyers are going to get us this deal done, in enough time so we can hit the launch, so we can still deliver that 100 million tacos. If you don't do things like that, if you don't deliver value within the context of what's important to your clients, then there's no point in giving any advice or any wisdom.
And can you give me any creative suggestions that you might give to lawyers or accountants so that they can better provide affordable wisdom?
So this first suggestion isn't that creative, Joe, but it's something that I try and live by, which is always give freely of your time and your wisdom. I found it to be immeasurably powerful, the idea of just helping others. And funnily enough, it also makes good business sense. On top of that, I'd say ask questions. You know, there is nothing as a lawyer like understanding context, or even a finance professional. It's really critical in order to deliver value to get inside of the head of the person you're advising. And also to understand their appetite for risk. Something which perhaps is a little bit more creative is how you use technology and innovation to advise your clients. One of the things that my team and I are looking at now is how do we deliver advice to a large body of people without being in front of them and enabling them to have that advice immediately to hand and have it be really relevant. So we're looking at tools like Chatter, which is an internal corporate version of Twitter, and how we can engage with people dynamically through that medium.